Hey guys, it's Jenkins211 here, and I know it's been a while since my last video, but here we are. It took me a long time to research this one. I spent over 47 hours actually working and writing out a script for this thing, and this is going to be the ranking of all the Marvel cosmic abstracts and entities, or just extremely powerful people. And I'm talking the reality warper, the mystical powers like Seisnag and all that stuff. And as you know, Marvel is full of inconsistencies in the writing, so I'll address them as I go through the list. Now, to keep this video to a manageable size, and I'm not spending literally 10 seconds on every character, I'm going to break this into 4 parts. So part 1 is coming out, well, today. Part 2 is tomorrow, Part 3 is the next day after that, and Part 4 is coming out on Friday. So, I hope you enjoy this video, and yeah, let's get on with it. So, starting off this list, we have Proteus. Now, Proteus was an X-Men villain going by the name of Mutant X, and he's actually the son of Moira McTaggart, who's Professor X's love interest in the X-Men First Class movie and in the comic books, of course. And his powers involve minor reality warping. Of course, this reality warping allowed him to entirely tool all of the X-Men. However, he was shown that he is a being of pure energy, and this causes him to essentially lose to Magneto, because Magneto uses his magnetic properties to magnetize the electrons, and he causes him to stay in one shape, and he stops Proteus in his tracks. And Proteus doesn't have many feats of power, just a lot of implied power, but it's also shown that he can be stopped fairly easily, and that's why he ranks all the way at the bottom. Still really good, by the way, but he ranks all the way at number 81 on this list. Coming in at number 80 is Victor Von Doom. Now, this is Doom without any powers. He is not Beyonder Doom. He is not Infinity Gauntlet Doom. He is not 2015 Secret Wars Doom. This is, if you went to Latveria and you busted down the front door at any given day of the week, this would be his power set Doom. So, this Doom is the one that is constantly beaten by the Fantastic Four. He is a talented magician. That's one thing that a lot of people don't know about him. He's very gifted in magic, rivaling the likes of Doctor Strange. Well, new Doctor Strange, classic Doctor Strange would annihilate him, but new Doctor Strange, and his scientific genius is on the level of Reed Richards and Tony Stark, and his technology is far more advanced than anything that we usually see on Earth, and it makes him extremely powerful, and I'd say he's Marvel's version of the Batman prep time joke. Just give Dr. Doom enough time and he'll take down anyone. However, to some of these people, Doom's an ant, so that's why he's at number 80. Placing right at number 79 is Vulcan. The third Summers brother has the same type of powers as his 2 younger brothers, but he's vastly more powerful. His energy manipulation makes him a very powerful contender and makes him stand up to even reality warpers. He once stated that his control of energy was so vast that he could send a concentration laser beam at someone's face at the speed of light before their neurons even had a time to process what was happening. That's insane. Now, I know a lot of people believe that that makes him contendable for the cosmic entities. Like, oh, couldn't he kill Galactus? No, he can't kill Galactus. It's just never gonna happen. Okay? And a lot of people have some misconceptions about Vulcan, and I just like to say that he's powerful, but he's not that powerful. Like, Adam Warlock compared him to a cosmic entity. I mean, it's Adam Warlock. Vulcan's gonna beat him anyway. Adam Warlock is powerful, but he's not that powerful. So I believe Adam Warlock was grossly exaggerating at this claim, and that's why Vulcan is number 79 on this list. Epsilon Mercator is a mutant who arose out of the House of M timeline, created by Scarlet Witch when she whispered the 3 famous words, "No more mutants." And he's extremely powerful. He's a reality warper who is able to defeat a Sentinel with just a wave of his hand. Now, they're just Sentinels. They're not that strong, unless you're counting the Days of Future Past movie. Those Sentinels were pretty strong. But if you're just counting the comic ones, that's not too impressive. But he led a revolt against an anti-mutant regime and was able to beat everyone. He was killed when his powers were drained, but then it was implied that he was able to get them back, and he had ascended. Wow, I'm not buying that because it looked like he died. truly, it looked like he died. It's up for debate, actually. If you go on Comic Vine and ask, they're still debating over it now. But I'm just going to place him right here because he's powerful, but he was defeated by some low-tier mutants, and he has little to no feats. In the 77th spot is Post-Retcon Molecule Man. Now, if you're wondering who exactly this character is, because there's been so many retcons over the years, if you look back, there was the Cosmic Cube thing, where Beyonder and Molecule Man were two parts of an incomplete Cosmic Cube. And if you put them together into one, they formed a complete Cosmic Cube and were very powerful, more so than Cubic or the Shaper of Worlds. Well, to do this, the entire Cosmic Cube was given to Beyonder, and Molecule Man's Cosmic Cube powers were taken away, but he still had some molecule manipulation abilities, and that is this version of the Beyonder. If you are wondering, this is the same guy that gets wrecked and killed by Sentry. He turns Sentry into water, Sentry reforms and kills him easily. So that's why he's down here on this list. It's because he's lost a lot of his great power, and he lost to Sentry. And predictably, at number 76, we have the Sentry. Now, this is the normal Sentry and the normal Void. I know in the recent Sentry run, Ryan Reynolds combined himself, Sentry, and the Void all into one being, and then told the Avengers, "You never could stop me," and then flew into outer space. I'm not counting him. He appeared on literally one panel. And I know other people on this list have like 1 or 2 panels, but on the panel that Sentry's on, he did nothing. All he did was fly. And we don't even have a name for that Sentry yet. So I'm counting this Sentry, and primarily the reason he's here is he's a mild reality warper. He killed the Absorbing Man, and, of course, he killed Molecule Man. So that's the reason why he's up here on this list, and the reason why he's at number 76. Number 75 is Jamie Braddock. Now, Jamie Braddock is actually the brother of Psylocke, but their powers are nearly entirely different. When his mutant powers first kicked in, it literally drove him insane. Like, his brain warped, and he now is able to see things on a quantum level, which drove him insane, and he's able to reach out and pluck the strings. And this makes him only able to warp things in his vicinity, because he's able to pull the strings and cause ripple effects to warp reality. However, it was later expanded that now he can pull strings here and warp, like, right next to him, pull things there, and warp something halfway across the universe. And it makes him extremely powerful, and he's a limited but long-distance reality warper, which makes him very powerful, and makes it so he could beat the likes of Sentry from a galaxy away if he was precise enough. And that's why he is sitting comfortably at number 75. Arriving at number 74 is Starbrand. Now, Starbrand, he's not a great character. I think he's kind of a plot device. Essentially, someone gets chosen with the power of the Starbrand, and they can do anything the writer wants them to do. And so, Starbrand had this distinct set of powers. He was slightly stronger than the Sentry, all that jazz. He actually beat the Sentry in a fight, tooled the Avengers, even though he was just a kid. However, then he committed suicide, and the resulting explosion destroyed one of the Beyonder avatars. Yeah, you could say that he's as strong as a Beyonder. I'm not going to, because if the move, and that's not even a true Beyonder, it was a Beyonder avatar, and there was like circumstances and all that. It was really obscure, and he drew in all the power. On base level, Starbrand is not even close to that level of power. He's way down below. So if you look at his powers, other than that, just ignore that, he would rank even lower than where I'm placing him now. I'm taking that into consideration, which is why he's as high as he is now. But honestly, if there's a move where you have to die for it to work, you lose either way. Just because you stalemate doesn't mean you win. Like, essentially. So that's my thought process, and that's why I believe that he lands right here at number 74. At number 73, we have Onslaught. The combination of Magneto and Professor X's mind melded together, it stole the power of, like, Nate Gray, I believe Hope Summers, a bunch of other really powerful mutants, and then it comes back to the past with the powers of Nate Gray, aka Cable Time Travel, blah, 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 and it wrecks the Avengers and the X-Men in his reality warping powers, and basically can't get beaten by anyone. But for some reason, it decides it doesn't have those powers anymore, it puts up a shield, and the Hulk goes toe-to-toe with Onslaught. Hulk actually loses, and every hero on Earth, including the X-Men Avengers and I believe Fantastic Four, are able to take down Onslaught. If it requires every single hero to take one person down, who also is a master reality manipulator, I believe that person, or thing, because Onslaught is a thing, is extremely powerful. And he scared Apocalypse, which is an A in my book. Apocalypse essentially sat on the moon and said, nah, I'm sitting this one out when Onslaught showed up. And I think that was wise, because Onslaught is extremely powerful, and he deserves his spot. At number 72, we have our first, well, not necessarily a tie, kind of same realm of power on this list. And that's a tie between Nightmare and Sloriath. Sloriath, I don't know how you say it, but essentially, Nightmare, he controls dreams and all that stuff. He gives people nightmares. He's extremely powerful Doctor Strange villain, well fleshed out. On the other hand, Sloriath, much less fleshed out. Ugh. He fought the Vishanti, and they said that the ensuing battle between Sloriath and the Vishanti would destroy the universe they were in, so they invoked the Living Tribunal, and he basically told Sloriath to buzz off. And then Sloriath thought he was big and tough, and he said, and he went into Mephisto's dimension and said, Mephisto, square up! And Mephisto beat him so badly that he went back to the main dimension and tried to fight Eternity. He actually did decently, and this is Universal Eternity, not Multi-Eternity, and yes, Multi-Eternity exists. For all you non-Multi-Eternity, just look at Ultimates. It definitely is a thing. But he essentially just gets wrecked back and forth. And he doesn't show a great display of power, just the implied power that he could have destroyed a universe. And Nightmare, they're around the same gauge, is what I'm saying. The Vishanti fought Nightmare, and it almost destroyed an entire reality as well. It's just things like that. They're very, very similar, and that's why they're tied at this position. At ranking 71, we have Mephisto. Now, widely regarded to be the devil of the Marvel Universe, I'd say that's correct. Mephisto is extremely powerful, but compared to the other Hell Lords, he's the weakest. And he tried to fight Gaia, Mother Earth, and she just wrecked him across dimensions. And he went to his dimension, and Galactus just started eating it. So he's kind of like, out of all the Hell Lords, he's kind of the comic relief one. He gets bullied and harassed. But every once in a while, like the dreaded One More Day storyline, or One Last Day, or whatever, I don't even care that storyline's so bad. He's able to warp reality on a grand scale to bring Aunt May back. He completely rewrites the timeline, which obviously implies him to be very powerful, but compared to the other Hell Lords, he is weak, and that's why he sits here on this list. So coming in at number 70 is Gaia. Now, I mentioned Gaia just a couple seconds ago, when I was talking about Mephisto, and yes, as you can see on screen, she did beat Mephisto. She also goes by Mother Earth. However, the living spirit inside the Earth is completely different from her. Their child is actually the Demogorgy, I don't know. Then she created the Demogorg with the spirit of Mother Earth to eat up all of the elder gods, and it worked on all of them except for 2. This just shows her great power, and she beat Mephisto, so she earns her ranking squarely right here. Coming in at number 69 is the Demons Below Dormammu, and by this, I mean people that are extremely powerful but are under Dormammu's dominion, or just under him in power, and that includes like Rune, Tryon, Crom, Satanish, his creation, who also beat Mephisto, by the way, and the Demogorg. These are all weaker than Dormammu, but are still powerful in their own regard. And I believe that they make up a team that's more powerful than anything that preceded them on this list, and that's why they share this spot at number 69. On 68th place on this ranking is Dormammu and Umar. And I know I placed a picture of Sela on this section. That's just there because that's Umar's daughter. Like, a being such as Dormammu could possibly have a niece that looks like human like that. I know that when she's in the dark dimension, she'll have the flames on her head. That's just a little bit of an interesting thing I found. Now, Dormammu and Umar are both extremely powerful. Both of their power combined was able to chain eternity. This is not multi-eternity. This is a regular universe eternity. But they're just extremely powerful. Dormammu owns Mephisto and everyone else on this list. However, he has been shown to be weaker than people like Odin, as he lost to Odin, or rather, he quote-unquote stalemated Odin, but still had to flee to the Dark Dimension instead of remaining. And that's why he's right here on this list. And Umar is listed to be canonically about the same power, maybe a tiny bit weaker than Dormammu, which is why they're so close and why they share the same ranking right here on this list. So for this ranking at number 67, I was thinking to put the Skyfather's team. However, Odin has shown himself to be vastly more powerful than any of the other Skyfathers, with his only possible Skyfather coming close to him in power would be Zeus. So I decided to count all the Skyfathers except Odin on this spot. Because if you do it in that way, you'll be able to see that the Skyfathers as a group are extremely powerful and are a great way to rank other people, but Odin really throws that out of whack. So Dormammu couldn't stand a chance against Odin, but against all the other Skyfathers, I don't think he really would either. And he'd have to flee because the Skyfathers are around the same power. And just as a team, they're really strong, and the most prominent member is Zeus, and that's why they sit here at number 67. At number 66 on this list is Odin. Now, this should have been easy to guess, because the Skyfathers were right before, and I excluded Odin from that group, so that him being just better than them would make a lot of sense, and the reason why is because of the Odin Force. Now, the Odin Force is this power that Odin can tap into that makes him vastly more powerful than he would normally be. I do not believe the other Skyfathers have this ability, and his is by far the strongest, okay? So, essentially, with the Odin Force, he was able to beat Mephisto and Dormammu. Okay, the only feat I'm not counting for Odin right now is when he said that his sword, which is impronounceable, by the way, it's like Gore was born. Basically, his sword, when unsheathed, could destroy the entire universe, which is impossible. It's made by Asgard. Like, what are you gonna do? How is Asgard or one of the 9 realms? They're not that powerful. They're not going to make a sword that can destroy all of existence. It's just not going to happen. So that's why he's ranked right here at number 66. Coming in hot at number 65 is Serdar. Serdar is a fire demon from Muspelheim who is the direct rival of Odin. He's actually more powerful than Odin because every time Serdar fights Odin, Odin has to gain help from someone else to imprison him again. And he's just more powerful than Odin, though. Not a whole lot more powerful, which is why he's just next to Odin on this list at number 65. Adversary rolls onto this list as the Shining God of Chaos at number 64. Now, he earns this place due to one story that he appeared in where he was the main antagonist. He was the main antagonist due to how he possessed one of the shamans of the X-Men, and by possessing this shaman, he was able to trick the X-Men into freeing him from the spirit realm. Once he was freed from the spirit realm, he showed vast reality warping capabilities and showed his true form to the heroes. The only way they were able to beat him is by sacrificing themselves and sealing him off inside the spirit world. This worked, and the heroes were able to actually come back. However, that weakened the spell, and he returned later, but he was killed. So, his powers in this story were enough to get him this far on the list. However, the fact that he was killed was very disappointing, and it dropped him lower. Coming right in at number 63 are the Elders of the Universe. These characters are the last of their species, hence why they're called the Elders. They are very powerful. Each one of them is imbued with vast cosmic power. Some of their most powerful members include like the Grand Master or the Champion of the Universe. An honorary member is Ego. He's actually considered an honorary Elder of the Universe because he is the one and only of his species. I thought that was interesting. They're very powerful. They are used to rank other people. They are listed as stronger than the Skyfathers on Marvel's website. And if you go to Comic Vine, the home of all true nerds, you'll see that most people agree with that. So the Elders of the Universe are right here at number 63 on this list, where they belong. At number 62, we have Corevac. Now, Michael Corevac is an extremely powerful reality warping character from the future, and he was shown to defeat the entire Avengers team and many other amazing feats, and he was really hard to place on this list. So for the first and last time, I had to resort to the Marvel website on this one. And the Marvel website says that Michael Corevac is listed to be more powerful than a Skyfather, and more powerful or on par with the Elders of the Universe. Now, I heard more powerful or on par and immediately said more powerful. Corevac, his feats say much more, but I'm going to listen to Marvel for once, and I'm going to place him right here at number 62. And topping out this portion of the list today at number 61 is Gore the God Butcher. Now, I know what you're already thinking. How the heck is Gore higher than Corevac? Now, he's higher than Corevac because of what's stated about him. Corevac is on the level of the Elders of the Universe and the Skyfathers. However, the God Butcher killed every single god in every pantheon easily with the all-black the Necro Sword. And he was able to fight against 2 Thors with the Odin Force, a Rune King Thor, and a normal Thor all at once, and he won. So even though he's not some vast reality warper, doesn't mean he's not powerful. And that's why he comes in and finishes out our section of the list today at number 61. Thank you so much for watching that video. Remember, I have another video coming out tomorrow, another one coming out Thursday, and another one coming out Friday to finish off the list. This is just the first 81 through 61. Thank you so much for watching that video. Make sure you smash that like button, you hit subscribe, and you hit the notification bell, so when I drop the other 3 videos, you'll be notified and you can watch them. And if you want more videos by me, just click on the box on the left. If you want to subscribe to my channel, click on the icon in the middle, and look at some of my friends' channel, Akidasta and Creepa MC. They're both great, and if you would subscribe to them both, that would really warm my heart. Please subscribe, and thank you for watching. Bye.